Good. Yeah, like 1 minute. Smithville Board of Aldermen meeting is now called to order. Please stand. I have asked Alderman Hartman to lead us in the pledge since it is his birthday.
Thank you, Mayor. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Alderman Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve the consent agenda.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Any discussion? All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, say no. Motion carries. That's the only thing I get to sign tonight. Next, committee reports, Alderwoman Wilson.
Planning and zoning, we had an update at Clay Creek Meadows. They're moving forwards on construction. They're doing a lot of grading up there, that's for sure. And then construction has started here at the 110 Smithville. They're pouring foundations. Commercial street sidewalks, it looks like those will be starting in June. Of course, Nottoway Valley Bank down by McDonald's and the townhomes down there. You're seeing a lot of activity and buildings going up as far as the townhomes go. Richardson Street Plaza, which is building around the post office. We'll probably see a site plan on the north lot there before too long. And maybe we'll be seeing something for phase 2 of Fairview Crossings. And then the RV storage, they look like there'll be 3 more buildings going up down there as well in the future. And that is all I have unless the mayor has anything else to add.
Jack, anything we missed? No? Yep. And we have one item on the agenda tonight before, yeah, just the one. And then one we postponed for the next meeting. City Administrator's report, Ms. Wagner.
There's a significant amount of information in the report. I won't read through all of that. Those who are watching can find it online in the agenda, but I do want to highlight a few items. Want to again thank the public for their support of Proposition P, the ballot initiative that was on the ballot last week. I do want to remind the board and the public that collection of those taxes will not even begin until October 1st of this year. So those are submitted by businesses to the Department of Revenue, and then those are sent back to the local municipalities. We probably will start seeing those revenues in our hands trickling in after the first of the year in 2026. We will, as we work through the budget process, be developing a budget for that fund that we will be asking you all to create as well. So we'll continue then monitoring the performance of our existing sales taxes as we monitor those revenues all the time in helping us develop projections for the 26 budget for a public safety sales tax fund. Do have information here. I think we've noted before, and you all were aware we had to cancel a meeting once because of some service line issues to City Hall with our sewer. Following estimates, those estimates for some repairs are exceeding my expenditure authority. Based on recommendation from Chuck, we're going to add this as an addendum to another project downtown because we think we might be able to get just as good a estimates with that. And we will include that with a bid that's already out for a project in the downtown area. And we'll have to come to the board when we award that bid for a budget amendment for, we don't have expenditure authority for those approvals, or excuse me, that project at this point. The city administrator's report does include an update on some projects that Jack and his staff have either going through the process with the Planning Commission or have been working with consultants. There's information with regard to review of accessory dwelling units as well as the South Overlay District. I have received a number of calls or complaints with regard to parking in the downtown area as noted in the report. Just want to remind everyone that really is almost like a neighborhood issue. We look for people to communicate with one another and cooperate and be respectful of other businesses in the area. There's information about a presentation Gina will be making at the International City County Management Association Conference in October. She has been asked to serve on a panel and present about our Citizens Academy and putting together Citizens Academies for small communities. So we're excited about that. Attached to the city administrator's report is the 2024 solid waste report. GFL provides that on an annual basis, so that is attached to the document. Over the last couple of weekends, we've hosted some events for recycling and e-waste and shredding and hazardous waste collections. This past weekend, we had the household hazardous waste collection at the high school. Want to thank Myra and staff for coordinating that. I know a number of staff members as well as members of the public helped volunteer at both that and the e-waste and shredding event the weekend before. I know there were over 300 cars that showed up for household hazardous waste this past weekend. We had a successful ribbon cutting for the latest phase of Streetscape on North Bridge this afternoon or this morning rather, and appreciate all those who came out for that and braved a little bit of windy weather, but it was fun to be able to christen those improvements. Then a couple of other items that aren't included in the report and have come up since this was put together. Yesterday morning, I believe it was, Gina met with Carol Noker, who is coordinating the real world learning program. Gina was able to meet with Braden Smith, who's a sophomore at Smithville High School, through our partnership with the school district and the real world learning program. Braden is going to be working for us on a client connected project where he'll be taking updated photos of city landmarks and staff in order to be able to refresh our website and have fresh pictures there. So all of our social media and marketing materials. Our goal is to be able to have that project complete by the end of this school year. So we're excited to be able to coordinate with the school district and putting a young local student to good use in providing a nice service for us. So we're excited about that. And finally, we did receive an email from Shauna Houghton coordinating Lakefest Committee Parade and has expressed desire for the city to have a float for the elected officials and staff. And if that is something the board would like for us to be able to pursue, we'll work with them for that, and then we'll coordinate and ensure we get people signed up for that. Is there an interest in ensuring we've got a float and we can work to develop that, or?
Matt, you got room on your water trailer to haul some people?
Yeah, Cynthia, I think it would be a lot of fun to have city employees in the Board of Aldermen, and it just goes to show support for one of our, many.
I think we should have the street
Events.
sweeper at the very end just to take care of some stuff.
Okay. We'll coordinate that. I believe that is it, Mayor.
Got the new stuff for potholes too. You could follow the parade and go in front of the parade and take care of the potholes as we fly. Yeah, there we go. Along the line of your shredded events and everything too, I saw Alderman Wilson posted this today too, and I appreciate the city working with GFL to get the additional cardboard dumpster, but we do need to make sure trash is getting, or cardboard's getting in those dumpsters down here everywhere. So I get it, something comes out, falls out, and the guys have been really good down here. I know when they dump this one with their stuff beside it, they do try to pick it up, but the one at Price Chopper is a little more visible. It's on a hill. It's very windy, so
Yeah, and
Thank you,
thank you, Mayor,
guys.
for bringing that up. That is an additional service that GFL has provided. We've negotiated with them for them to provide that. They do provide one dumpster at each of the locations, so we do ask that people monitor that and be respectful of where they are located. We work with GFL to get them out here as frequently as possible. That is an additional service they're providing for us, and it has not increased rates. So we want to make sure that we're respectful of the property that that's setting on and grateful for the service that GFL is providing us.
And for those of you getting Amazon packages, they will take those back. So if you put them back on your porch, they'll take them back. The empty boxes and stuff, so. They want their packaging back.
Are,
Maybe
is
you
that, are those, for, businesses or residents or both?
Both. The one in
Okay, thank you.
downtown was originally requested by Main Street and the downtown businesses because there was a lot of cardboard going on and not a lot of room down here for dumpsters. Like Price Chopper has a compactor, I'm sure. Borders, I think, has a compactor. The bigger businesses usually have compactors, right, Jack? You've walked through more of them than probably any of us, but yeah, especially the downtown business, any retail, you know, they get a lot of cardboard. I'm sure buns come in cardboard, you know, different things. The restaurants come in cardboard, so that was the original ask for downtown, and then the second dumpster, because it was getting used a lot, and now the third, because it's been popular.
Yes.
I know Melissa used it because she posted.
Tell everybody to break their boxes down before they put it in there.
Appreciate that. Next item on the agenda, or any other questions for Ms. Wagner or anybody? Thank you. Item number 6, Alderman Atkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to approve bill number 3060-25, conditional use permit for transfer station, our first reading.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Thank you. Do have a couple of public comment. And David and Kim are here. They are the applicants, so they're here for questions as well from the board. But the one public comment we have is from Kit. So I think you spoke the other night. If you'd like to speak. Okay. Okay, if you need time, or you're here for a resource as well. You were here at P and Z, right? You have a transfer station as well. And then David, you got anything for the board? State your name and address and
David Finke,
Yeah.
9350 Highway Camden Point, our business 14820 Industrial Drive, Smithville. This is my wife Kim as well. We just wanted to reiterate, wanted to thank everyone for their time in talking with us and going over the discussion and looking into moving forward with this. Just wanted to reiterate for anyone who doesn't know, our real, you know, what really turned the corner for us in wanting to make this change is the uncertainty we have at St. Joe landfill, which affects everyone in the region here. We're still not for sure what's going to happen there. We know the rates are going to go up in January again significantly, which is going to prohibit people from outside of the area from using it. Most people have seen trash increases. Redgate, for instance, does the flip top dumpsters for over 75% of the businesses in Smithville. And they've had to have rate increases, and they're just kind of waiting to see what's happening there. And we would love to be able to take the trash and the goods from people's homes at our facility to avoid having to go to St. Joe, or for having the next place would be downtown Kansas City. So we're trying to keep the cost down, keep it efficient, and service the people in the area where we're based out of. So, and if anyone has any questions or concerns, we'd love to answer them for you at a later time.
thank you. Questions from the board?
I have lots.
Go for it.
I handed out to each of you an article that I had read from the EPA on solid waste. And there were a lot of questions I had after I read through that. After reading that, some of the things I highlighted was like odors. And I guess, David, I'll ask you, it talks here about remove all waste at the end of each operating day. Do not allow any waste to remain on the site overnight. Frequently clean, wash down the tipping floor or your surge pit. So do you have the capabilities of washing down
Yes.
your pits?
And initially, we were planning on just C and D, so we do have, we had put the fall in the concrete floor to go to the back of the building in case something ever, we needed to utilize that. Well, we are putting a drain system in, and the way that works is, and that's for anything that would spill or when we clean the floor weekly as well. That will drain to the lower level, and from there, it will drain into a container outside, which is like a oil and sand filter tank, and that tank will not go back into the stormwater or the sewer system. It will be pumped out and be taken to Kansas City wastewater treatment as needed. The state will also test that. They can do it at different intervals, but usually quarterly, they're gonna test that water just to make sure there's no issues. But from the time we dump on the tipping floor of the building, we should never have any of that product be on that floor for more than 10 minutes. As soon as it hits the floor, we're constantly loading it into semi trailers. So those trailers get tarped inside the building, and then they go to the landfill from there to Johnson County landfill. At the end of the day, there is nothing on the floor, nothing in the building, or the trailers that are inside the building will have an empty one ready for the next day. We do sweep and maintain the floor all week. On Saturdays, we're required by the state to sanitize and wash the entire facility, the floor of that.
Okay. That's the only question I'm going to ask right now, because what I would like to do is I would like to move to postpone this until everybody here, all the other board members have an opportunity to read this to see if they have other questions or anything, because this is the first time they've seen it. So I would like to move to postpone this till our next board meeting to allow people time to do additional research and see if they have any other questions that they would like to ask and stuff.
Have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Do we need a roll call on this one, Linda, or just voice vote? Okay, all those in favor of postponing, say aye. Sorry. Roll call. Okay, clerk, please call roll on postponing. Back to my original.
Alderman Russell.
I'd like to thank David for reaching out to me and discussing any issues I had before that. I might have additional after I read this document from Alderman Wilson, but aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
Alderman Wilson.
Aye.
Alderman Atkins.
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski.
Aye.
Alderman Shipley. 6-0.
Motion carries. It is postponed to the next meeting, so we'll hold on to the public comment cards too, so we still have those for next time. Next item on the agenda is number 7, and we have Jamie Cole here. So, Jamie, state your name and address for the record. You have 3 minutes. If you need more time, let me know, because you're just introducing yourself, so.
Hi, I'm Jamie Cole with BG Consultants. We're at 1500 South US 169. I think many of you are aware that BG Consultants has had some relationship with the city for a number of years now, and we've executed some engineering projects. We had planned to move here a couple of years ago and open up a shop, and we had some hiccups with staffing. And so we resolved that now and are still dedicated to pursuing opportunities to serve the city. And so we're really pleased to be back here and opening our doors in Smithville. We're an engineering, architecture, and surveying firm. So we do a lot of infrastructure, water, wastewater, municipal facilities, the kind you occupy, and then the kind that that serve your utilities. And so we do pretty much everything across the spectrum of engineering and architecture. We've opened up a diversified building complex right now as a temporary facility because we wanted to get opened and operated, ready to serve. But we have a permanent facility under construction at Richardson Plaza. So we'll be moving over there this summer. And so we have 4 employees working in Smithville right now. We built our facility to house about 17, 18 employees. And so over the next few years, we plan to staff up and have more employees here working and hopefully living and patronizing the businesses here in Smithville. So shout out to Show Me Real Estate, helped us to find some locations here because it was a challenge really to just find available space. But I'll welcome anyone to contact me if they have any questions or want to learn more about our business or share any information. And just thanks for allowing us to introduce ourselves, and we look forward to serving the city.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Make sure, Gina, make sure Carol gets his number for our engineering, architecture, and design students. So you need some internships. It's a good place to hang out. Even if it's just making copies, right? Got to learn somehow. So glad to see it. No other public comment, right? Good. Next item on the agenda is number 8. It is that time of year again. It is not dependent on an election. It's annually, we have to reelect our representatives for our different boards and things. So first is number 8. Do I have a nomination for Mayor Pro Tem? Alderman Hartman.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that Alderman Atkins be Mayor Pro Tem.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any other nominations? Hearing none, clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Atkins,
Abstain.
Alderman Kibelski,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
Aye.
Alderman Shipley,
Aye.
Alderman Hartman.
Aye.
5-0, 1 abstain.
Well, you're still here.
There we go.
Another year. This next one, I think if a certain person doesn't get nominated, there's, and there'll be a look you get. So, election of planning commission representative, Alderman Hartman.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that Alderman Wilson be our nominee for the planning and zoning.
Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Do I have any other nominations for planning and zoning? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Shipley,
Aye.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Abstain.
Alderman Atkins.
Aye.
5-0, 1 abstain.
Next is the election of Parks and Rec Committee representative. Do I have a nomination for Parks and Rec?
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion that Alderman Shipley continue to be our Parks and Rec representative.
Is that okay by you, Matt? Okay. And Jack doesn't get a second. Do I have a second?
Mayor, I'll second.
Any other nominations? Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Shipley,
Abstain.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski.
Aye.
5-0, 1 abstain.
All right. Next one is the appointment for Economic Development Representative. As you know, we changed our ordinance code recently, so we have a EDC, Economic Development Representative, because we no longer have the EDC. And this one is appointed by me. And since he hasn't served on anything for a bit, I appoint Alderman Russell to the Economic Development Representative. Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Kibelski,
No.
Alderman Russell,
Abstain.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Shipley,
No.
Alderman Wilson.
No.
1 abstain, 2 no, 3 noes and 2 ayes.
I will ask for nominations from the board. I have a nomination for economic development representative.
Mayor, I'd make a motion for Alderman Kabowski.
Have any other nominations? Do I have a second?
Second.
Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Shipley,
Aye.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
Abstain.
Alderman Kibelski. 4-0, 2 abstained.
I have representative for economic development. Any new business from the board? Jack, I have one thing to ask, after we get through this, transfer station discussion. Could you look into, or we can work session this, a moratorium on future transfer stations, landfills, related businesses, and also look at, if there's anything we can do to, curb the number of additional storage units in used car lots, because if you've driven to Trimble lately, every available piece of land is storage units. So we've got some open space, and we've spent a lot of time and effort on our overlay district and other planning, and for that to all go thrown out the window for storage units would be unfortunate. So if you could look into that for us, I'd appreciate it. Any other new business, Melissa? I think did you have something?
I think you covered it.
Okay. Is that a second for that?
The second.
Okay. So we can work session that in the future, just to see kind of where we are with options. Any other new business? If not, I need a motion to adjourn to executive session, please.
Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn to executive session pursuant to section 610.0213 of the revised state statute.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Clerk, please call roll.
Alderman Atkins,
Aye.
Alderman Wilson,
Aye.
Alderman Hartman,
Aye.
Alderman Shipley,
Aye.
Alderman Kibelski,
Aye.
Alderman Russell,
Aye.
6-0.
Stand adjourned.